access this information later. Tiffany, if you'll go ahead and watch the chat for me, if there's anything I should see, just let me know. Hi again, welcome. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Open House. This is the first time we've actually done an open house in the year preceding when the course is going to take place. And so if you're here and you're interested in becoming a CHW instructor, and I hope that's why you're here, the dates are going to be from February the 1st to April the 20th. So without any further speaking, let me introduce myself. My name is Quisha Umemba. I am the CEO for Umemba Health. I am joined today with my training director for Umemba Health Academy, Ms. Tiffany Scott. Now, I am not going to be talking about CHWs or CHW certification. I'm not even going to talk about, what a CHW trainer or instructor is. However, if you would like more information about the CHW profession, about the CHW certification, or just about being a CHW trainer or instructor in general, we do have information sessions that are available at Umemba Health Academy. I invite you to go and visit those and watch those on-demand recordings. So if you're here, I'm assuming you already know what a CHW instructor is. You want to be one day. And so you're interested in what we offer and how it's different here at Umemba Health Academy. And without further ado, welcome to the campus. One of the first things that we've always say, if this is your first time, welcome. If you've attended a workshop or an event with us before, welcome back to the campus. We're certainly glad to have you here. So if you are not familiar with UHA, it is our virtual campus for public health professionals that includes CHWs, CHW instructors, medical assistants, pharmacy techs, health educators, and more. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with maybe Umemba Health is a public health workforce development training and consulting agency where our mission is to transform public health through comprehensive workforce development. So let's get straight into it. Any questions? I see a lot of chat. Nope, no questions. Somebody said they can't hear. Who is this? Nicole can't hear. Y'all hear me? Give me thumbs up. I see some people off camera. Give me thumbs up. Okay. So Nicole, there's something wrong with your audio. I'm sorry. I hope we can get it together. We don't have Spanish translation, Maria. And please, I'm not going to look at the chat. So don't send direct messages to me. Send them to Tiffany so that she can see those and I don't miss those at all. All right, so let's get into it. So a little bit more about our organization. We are approved provider for CHW and CHW instructor certification and continuing education. We are approved by the Texas Department of State Health Services. There are our credentials there. I neglected to mention, I am a CHW instructor certified. Tiffany is also a certified CHW instructor, but not in the state of Texas. So Tiffany, our training director, she works remote out of Baltimore, Maryland, and she is a master trainer out of Baltimore, Maryland. So a little bit about our CHW instructor certification course. Every semester, it seems like we do it different. And we're always pushing the bar and seeing how we can be innovative. And this, no doubt, is not going to change at all. We took some feedback from our last cohort of CHW instructors that graduated a couple of weeks ago. We actually tested a hybrid model with them for the very, very first time. So historically, our program, which is a 160-hour program, 40 hours of field experience, 120 hours of instruction, was a 16-week program where we would meet every Thursday evening from 6 to 8, live and in person, to go over different concepts, to do our student presentations, to do all of those things. And so Tiffany and I said, well, let's try a hybrid approach. We've kind of done this with the CHWs. Let's try with the CHW instructors, where basically we let them do the self-paced on-demand option for probably about 70% of the course. And then we only met for a certain amount of live sessions. So of course we have to meet for the 3 nights that we have to do student presentations. We met the first night, we met the last night, and then we had like a practice, kind of hands-on practice. So I think there was about 6 or 7 live sessions over the course of that 16 weeks. So we kind of took their feedback, what they liked about it, which was they did like the self-paced on-demand option, not having to meet every week. And then we also talked about, let's see if we can actually do this shorter. And so for the cohorts next year, we're actually piloting a 12-week program. Again, the first program is going to be February the 1st through April the 20th. I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you exactly how it's structured in our learning management system. So you'll see exactly what the syllabus looks like and how you can expect to, or when you can expect to come to the live classes, so on and so forth. Now, the cost of the program is $1,200. We are recording, we'll send out this recording, Julia. The cost of the program is $1,200 if you pay in full. It's also $1,400 if you need an installment plan. So that's going to be 4 payments of $350 down, and then $350 a month for the next 3 months. Now, I am going to be giving those of you that are watching, or those of you that may be watching the recording, a $100 discount if you are prepared to put in your application today and either pay in full or make a deposit. But you have to stay to the end because I'm going to show you that toward the last slides. All righty, so our program, as mandated by the state of Texas, we have to teach to the core competencies. These are the 8 core competencies that we are mandated to teach in Texas. For the knowledge-based skills, we choose to focus on virtual instructor-led training. Virtual instructor-led training is something we all were introduced to during the, right at the onset of COVID-19. But one thing that we did learn, and that's kind of silver lining of the dark cloud of COVID, is that virtual learning is here to stay. Virtual visits, virtual teaching, virtual classes, virtual workshops, it's not going anywhere. And so one of the things that we want you to do, we want you to be very comfortable in the virtual classroom, utilizing especially a Zoom platform, okay? I actually have some feedback from our students in our last cohort. They're going to talk to you a little bit about their experience and things that they learn in the virtual classroom throughout our course. In addition to those core competencies, when we talk about the knowledge-based skills of VILT or virtual instructor-led training, these are the things that you'll be learning on a week-to-week basis. Adult learning theories and learning styles, and actually basically in this order too. Assessing learner needs and conducting your literature reviews, learning outcomes versus learning objectives, instructional methods and learner evaluation. Then you go over the virtual classroom, how to facilitate virtually. We do some virtual collaboration and gamification. We're actually revamping our inclusive teaching module. I am being trained in how to be an accessible presenter. And so in 2024, you'll start seeing that every presentation that we have is going to be an accessible presentation. And so we want to teach our students how to do that as well. You'll learn storytelling, how to use storytelling as a method of teaching and develop case studies, lesson planning, curriculum development, and more. So these are the things that are mandatory. Of course, we have a lot of supplemental content because we've got to teach you those CHW core competencies. So even though we don't actually spend class time going over those CHW core competencies, all of those videos and all of that content is provided for you. So if you need to refresh yourself on certain things, then you can do that at that time. All righty. So let's see, competency breakdown. So in the state of Texas, the 8 core competencies, you have to teach to a total of 20 hours for that grand total of 160 hours. So the course is made up of 1 module per competency. Each module consists of 20 hours. It's approximately 2 hours. It's actually not live class. It's self-paced on demand now. So you got about 7 hours of self-paced on demand content, 5 hours for homework assignments per module. And it's going to be different people work at different speeds. And we allot about 8 hours of field experience. So field experience is something that you do have to get if you live in the state of Texas. If you don't live in Texas, you don't have to worry about getting field experience. We do not hold you to that. But if you are in Texas, you do have to clock your field experience hours. Now, our program is graded on a pass-fail rating. And so you want to keep a B or above in attendance and in your homework assignments as well. We are looking at class participation. We're grading your homework assignments. We're looking at your student presentations. And I'm not going to say we're a stickler, but we will ask you to present again if you do not meet all of the metrics, if you don't meet all of the marks. And then we're also making sure that you're clocking all of those field experience hours as well. And then just quickly to go over field experience hours here, a field experience opportunity is where it's basically like an internship or an externship. It means you're learning in the field at the same time that you're going through the program. Our particular program, if you're already working as a CHW or as a CHW instructor, we will let you count those hours. So a lot of times our students come to us, they're already in the field, we just let them count their work hours. But if you're working, if you work at a bank and you're trying to be a CHW instructor, then you're going to have to go do something that is CHW or CHWI related. And that's, going to work volunteer at a food bank, or going to volunteer at the local community center, or going to a nursing home and facilitating a focus group session, or whatever that looks like, so that you can clock those hours. All right, so some materials and equipment. So of course you need your computer or laptop. Sometimes students try to advance through the course player on their phone. It's not going to work. I'm sorry, it is not going to work with our learning management system. The preference is a computer or a laptop. An iPad is questionable, but you definitely will need a computer or a laptop, reliable internet connection, a notebook, pen, paper. Printer is optional, just because if you're like me, you got to print stuff out to read it. We no longer require our instructors to purchase the Foundations of Community Health Work textbook. However, if you're serious about teaching, and as soon as you get certified, you're going to be doing this, I recommend you at some point just go ahead and purchase the book. It's too far for me to grab. I call it the CHW Bible. It's a little outdated, but it's like the best thing that we've got, right? So our CHWs, we make them purchase it, and we actually, teach some things from it and have them read some of the chapters from it, but we don't do that for the CHW instructors. And I did see that question in there. We'll make sure to get that question at the end here. Let's see what else I've got here. Eligibility. So eligibility, if you live in the state of Texas, you must be 18 years or older. Now, I do know you can technically be 16, right, to be a CHW. But for our programs, whether it's CHW or CHW instructor, we only cater to 18 and older. So you have to be 18 years old. You have to complete the online application, sign the training agreement, and satisfy your tuition. And when I say satisfy your tuition, that means either you're going to pay it in full, either you're going to indicate that your employer is going to be paying for you, or you have to make that first installment if you wish to do an installment plan. So that's what that means by satisfying. And then the same thing for out of state, except you don't have to be a Texas resident. So just out of curiosity, if you're out of state, put it in the chat. I'd love to know if you're joining us from another state and where you're joining from. All right, so it really is better for you to apply. The sooner the better. We only take 15 people in each cohort. We've only taken 15 people every single semester in each cohort. We understand that there is a big demand for it. There's a lot of people interested in becoming CHW instructors, especially outside of the state of Texas, since Texas is the only state that has a formal certification process for instructors. And we have thought about, if we get 30 or 45 applicants, what that looks like, and if we'll have additional cohorts. But at this time, we're only taking the 15 participants. Again, full tuition or first installment must be paid in full to save your seat for the course. And the application process is super simple. Again, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and I'll show you where to go for everything. But you'll complete the application online, you'll sign the training agreement, and you'll make your payment. And it's as easy as that. So we have made it easy for you to ask your employer to pay. As a matter of fact, probably about 70% of our students, maybe 80% of our students, don't pay out of pocket. Their employer pays. And so there is an employer ask toolkit to help you explain the benefits and justify the expense for attending the certification program. And the toolkit has like a justification letter that you will revise, right? We've given you a guideline. You'll have to change some words, make it fit for you and your organization, your job role, etc. Our capability statement is there. The student handbook is there. Oh, I need to update the student handbook in that location. And then there are some course flyers there as well. So you should be able to put a nice little proposal package together for your employer to make it easy for you to, for them to pay for this. All righty, so this is the time where we go to frequently asked questions. And before I actually go to the FAQs that are on the website, I see we've got some hands raised and a couple of questions in the chat that I want to respond to. So let me do that right now. Maria, I see your hand is raised. If you want to go ahead and come off of mute, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I have I work in the border of Texas and New Mexico. What if I want to be certified in both states? How does that work?
So you will have to reach out to the CHW Association in Mexico, and you will have to see if our program.
No. This is New Mexico. New Mexico.
Oh,
it's in the United States.
In New Mexico. So you'll have to reach out to the CHW Association in New Mexico, and you would have to follow whatever the qualifications are to get certified there. Let me give you an example. In the state of Texas, Fina is asking me to talk slower. In the state of Florida, They have a full certification process. You have to sit for an exam, a whole thing. However, they do have a list of organizations that do meet the requirements for individuals that go out of state to take CHW courses to still get certified in the state of Florida. And so I know Umemba Health and Umemba Health Academy, rather, is one of those organizations because I've had 2 students from Florida before come through our programs and then get certified in their state, which is Florida. So some states are like that, but then there are some states that say you can only attend a program that is in our state at one of our approved or accredited programs. And so if that is the case, then you would not be able to use our certification to be dually certified. Does that answer your question, Maria?
Yeah, also, so you do have to be under an umbrella of an organization or what? A certified organization?
In Texas, you do have to be under the Texas Department of State Health Services, which is our kind of approval or accrediting body. I'm not sure
Mhm.
about the requirements for New Mexico, so you would have to look at their website, and every state should have like a CHW association of that particular state. So you would have to go and look at their requirements to know for sure.
Okay.
Okay. That it? Or you have any more questions?
Yes, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let me get some of these questions here in the chat. I know I gotta go way up, way up, way up, way up. I
Alicia,
love
I've
these.
been answering some of the questions that are in the chat. The one right now that's most pressing that I'm still trying to answer and kind of give everybody to is, are there scholarships? If so, how do they apply for scholarships? So if you want to answer that question while I move to the next question, that's where we are in the chat.
Yeah, so I think this will probably be a good time to just go to the FAQs that are on the website, because that is one of the questions that is listed there. So I'm going to do a new share here, share this screen, and we can talk about that. So thank you so much, Tiffany. Here's the landing page of the website for the course. If you have not seen it, I'll go ahead and copy and put it in the chat for you all here. And then at the very bottom of this page, you can see the FAQ. So let's kind of go over these, because these are like the FAQs. They're the questions that are asked most all of the time. And so we already talked about, yes, we are an approved provider of CHW certification. We're approved by the Texas Department of State Health Services. The second most common question is this one: I don't live in Texas. Can I still participate in your programs? And that answer is yes, absolutely. Our programs are virtual. They can be taken from any US state, even overseas. How long is the course, and how long will I have access to it? So again, the course is 160 hours over 8 core competencies. We have condensed that into 12 weeks. I'll go behind the scenes in a little bit and show you what that breakdown looks like. You will have access to the course for 14 weeks. So we give you 2 weeks after if you want to download, keep all the stuff, all of the handouts, resources, PowerPoints, all of that. So you'll get an additional 2 weeks, but then we have to clear the course and get ready for the next cohort. The next question is, how do I register? So the first thing we want you to do is read the student handbook. You can click on these red letters here. It will automatically download the student handbook for you. And then you can complete the online application and enrollment agreement. It is actually 2 things in one document. And it says once completed, you will be redirected to the checkout page where you can pay for your course. You do get immediate access. You get immediate access to the course. You'll get immediate access. I want to say maybe the first couple of videos, but then it will say, hey, this course doesn't start till February the 1st. You won't get access to everything else until I want to say it's like a week or something before the course starts. Now, this is important for you to note on the FAQs. If your employer or third party is paying for your course, you will be enrolled into the course after the payment has been received. So if you're going through the applications, you're going to indicate your employer, the point of contact, so the name, the email, the phone number, the address, and then we will reach out to that individual, send an invoice. And once that invoice has been paid, then you will be enrolled into the course at that time. Okay. Let me know if there's any questions about that. Let's see, is this an online course or in person? So this is a virtual hybrid, self-paced on demand for most or majority of the course, with some in-person sections, and we'll go over that here in just a little bit. So again, the cost of the course is $1,200 if paid in full, minus $100 if you take part in our special discount here that I'm going to introduce in just a moment. An installment plan is available. I think Tiffany did put that in the chat. So it's $350 down as a deposit, and then 3 equal installments of $350 a month for a total of $1,400. And our scholarships available for the course. When funding is available, absolutely partial or full scholarships are provided by our new Umemba Health Foundation, which we actually have founded just a couple of months ago. So scholarship opportunities are announced 30 days prior to the start of the cohort. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Probably not going to have any scholarship opportunities for the February cohort. We historically have given out probably 4 scholarships, well, 2 for CHWs and 2 for CHW instructors. I think the last time we gave out 4 scholarships, yeah, that was the same, 2 and 2. And so we normally do give out scholarships, but I'll be honest, we're a for-profit. We're not a non-for-profit organization. I've just been eating that cost. With Umemba Health Foundation now, we are seeking funding. We are writing grants. We are trying to secure some funding so that we can alleviate some of that cost burden with either a partial or full scholarship. And then it will be announced in email, or it will be announced here on the FAQ when we have that available, and a link to that scholarship application will be available there as well. When you get ready to apply, you can click here, and again, it's going to take you right to that CHW course application and enrollment. And then after you complete that, again, it's going to redirect you to that checkout page. All right, so that's the FAQs that I've just gone over. Let me open up the chat and see if there's any chat questions here, Tiffany, that need my immediate attention. Let's see here.
Been doing pretty good answering them. They're coming.
They're coming. So I went up quite a bit here. I'm so sorry, Nicole, that you weren't able to hear. Someone said the training is only for instructors. Yes, Spina, this particular training is only for instructors. If you're interested in the CHW certification, you can access that now. So our CHW certification is now 100% self-paced on demand. If you're looking for a live training, we will refer you out to one of our partners. We have several organizations that actually license our curriculum. And if you want a live training, we can refer you to them. Someone said, I guess they came in after the disclaimer. They said, I'm leaving. I thought this was free. So that was an email that was sent out inadvertently. It is not a free course. Thank you so much for that. Nancy, how do you find places to volunteer? To not get into the weeds of this, we actually have an internship toolkit that is available for all of our students. And so we will give you that toolkit. It has a scripted email. It has places that you can reach out to. It has the process that you go by. And what we want you to do is we want you to start yourself performing that outreach and connecting and trying to find an internship site yourself. That's why we give you the toolkit with all of those resources. And then if you don't have any luck, let's say you find a place and you can't get in contact with the program manager, or they're not calling you back, or whatever that looks like, then you will bring in your instructor, and your instructor will then help you solidify a place. So we definitely will take care of that as well.
Felicia, I want to give you another question. It came directly to me, but someone else may have this same question.
Okay.
How is it different than the regular CHW course? So how is the CHW instructor course different than the CHW course?
Yeah. So let me kind of go back to the original definition of a CHW and a CHW instructor, or just really the definition of a CHW instructor. A CHW instructor is someone that is certified and qualified to train CHWs. A CHW is the person that is serving in the normal capacity that a CHW is. And so outside of the state of Texas, you don't have to have a certification if you want to train and teach CHWs. Inside the state of Texas, you do have to have a certification if you want to train CHWs. And so the difference in the CHW course, you're learning about things like the social determinants of health and health equity and health literacy and all of those other things. In a CHW instructor course, you're learning how to teach CHWs about health equity, health literacy, social determinants of health. And so the curriculum is going to be on lesson planning, curriculum development, adult learning styles, educational methods and strategies, how to evaluate your learners. It's a much kind of higher level of knowledge that's required. So hopefully that answered that question. If not, if there's any follow-up, just let me know. Let's see here. How much is course? I need that. Oh, I missed that. Okay, we just went over that. Hopefully you got that. Let's see. Scholarships, we talked about that. Great question, Javier. Javier says, must you first be a CHW before becoming an instructor? You're looking at someone who was never a CHW, not certified anyway. I mean, like most CHWs, I was a CHW before I knew what a CHW was, right? But I never did the CHW certification in Texas first. So you do not have to. And a lot of people are really surprised by that. You do not have to be a CHW before you go through a CHW instructor certification program. Fina said, I need first a CHW training certification. Yes, we have this program. I can actually show you exactly where you can get that program. Are y'all still, can they still see my screen? Am I still sharing my screen? Okay, perfect. All right, so you're gonna go to Umemba Health Academy, and it's gonna be a pop-up, and you see this pop-up window here? You just click right there where it says find out more. It takes you right there to the online course. And you see in the red letters, it says apply to the course and get instant access. It tells you a lot about the course. It tells you what to expect week by week. So this content is dripped out to you week by week based on the core competencies that we're supposed to teach to. And I will say this, you know, if you think you need to get the CHW first, if you don't have any experience as a CHW, if you've never worked or served as a CHW, I definitely recommend that you go through the CHW course before becoming an instructor. However, if you have been working in an official or even unofficial capacity as a CHW, you have some kind of training, continuing education, or whatever, you don't necessarily have to go through the CHW certification course first to become an instructor. Okay, just want to say that. Let's see here.
Chanel has a question. Can any organization offer internships opportunities for CHW instructors?
I mean, it's up to them. It's you just have to reach out. I can't say that all or any organization necessarily would have those opportunities for you. And honestly, it may be a little bit more difficult for you to find opportunities related to CHW instruction. And so if you heard me say, we count CHW, anything related to the duties that a CHW would do, we actually count those hours for your CHW instructor field hours as well. Because imagine if you have to get 40 hours of teaching. That would be hard to go out to different organizations and get 40 hours of teaching. Now, do I want you to try to get some exposure to teaching, and do we help you try to get those things? Absolutely. But we want you to be able to do CHW related duties, and that can come in the form of mentoring others, coaching others, you know, working a food bank, working in community center, doing faith-based ministry, right? A lot of people do stuff with like their ministries at church. And so we count all of those hours in addition to if you're able to do any kind of teaching, facilitation, etc.
All righty, next question. Will we have access to an instructor at any point? And is there a deadline to be completed with the course? I think they're talking about the CHW course because it's self-paced. I think that is the question. Okay. Will they have access to an instructor, and is there a deadline?
Okay, let me hold off on that. First of all, if it is related to the CHW course, let us know if that is the case. I really want to focus on the CHWs, so let me get this out of the way first. I'm looking at Jennifer's question in the chat. She says, I work for an educational service center and would like to certify our regional teachers in order to allow those teachers to certify high school students. Does this allow me to do that? That is an excellent question, Jennifer. It does not allow you to certify your high school students. So in order for you to turn around and certify others, you would have to become a training site. And Umemba Health Academy is a training site. However, if you become a certified instructor, then you can put your curriculum together or license someone's curriculum, like people license ours. Then you can apply to become an approved training site, and then y'all can crank out as many certified high school students as you want to. And I would love to work with you and partner with you on that if that's something that you're interested in doing. Okay, so let's see here. Fina says, working on take the training. I have experience in NYC, but not Texas. So it's virtual. We've had students from NYC to Fina, so If you're interested in taking our training, you certainly can. And NYC does not have a formal certification, which is why we have a lot of students that come from out of state. A lot of states don't quite yet have a formal certification process. So you can certainly take our training and then use it there in New York. So I think I've answered this question, Alex, about the cost. If you did not hear, let me know. Carolyn, yeah, sorry. Can any okay, got that question. I thought people had to be CHWs. Okay, we answered that question. How does the organization sign up to take interns? I think we've answered that question. I keep hearing you say it's self-paced. Will you have, okay, and this is the question that we were talking about with CHWs. Okay, so the CHW, okay, and I'm seeing that she says, no, I'm talking about the CHWI. So let me take you behind the scenes and show you what I'm talking about there, Nicole. And then I see Chanel's hand is up. Chanel, go ahead if you have a question. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. And I'm gonna go behind the scenes here.
Yeah, so really for right, and so I was
Can you hear her? Is it just me or is it?
It's a little distorted. Chanel, you're a little distorted.
Can you better? Can you hear? Can you all
No.
now?
Okay, try it now. You sound a little bit stronger now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
I work with I'm the regional coordinator for disaster relief for Church of God in Christ. And so I just wanted to know, how do I actually sign up to get the interns who need to do their hours? Because I have a lot of hours to give if people need hours.
Oh, so you're asking yourself, how do you sign up to be, there actually is no like bank.
Not myself. Yeah,
right,
like the organization.
Your organization. Yeah. So we actually have some, we established MOU partnerships with our intern site partners. You can certainly do that, but honestly, most of our students are already working in that capacity. And so I may have referred maybe 2 students in the last year to one of our intern partners in like San Antonio or Houston or something like that. That could be a really great question for the state. And if you don't mind could you put my email in, Tiffany, in the chat, put admin in the chat. If you connect with me offline, I can certainly connect with you with the state and see if that could be something that you can reach out to them. But as of right now, I don't think there's like a repository of internship sites. It hadn't got to that point yet. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, so what you're looking at is the back of the, what time is it? 12:34. Okay, we're good. What you're looking at is the back of the course. And so it starts off with week 0. You'll see the left pane here, the left side is kind of the navigation. You can see what we're talking about for each week. We do have bonus lessons. We have student workshops. So every month we have a different student workshop. And we actually have put these recordings in here from all of this year's workshop. We try to change the topics every year, but that's what you see there. So the way that each session is broken down, you will get this is what I mean when I say on-demand, self-paced type of content. So you'll get some videos, very, very short. I don't think we have any video that's over 15 minutes. We really tried to make this as bite-sized information as we could. So you'll download like your handout on learner engagement strategies, the learning journey, your adult learning and learning style. This is actually the PDF of the handout. And so you'll watch this video and then you'll have some questions that will help you make sense of what you've just watched and learned, right? So this says, when applying the first principles of instruction, how would you help a learner to apply new knowledge? And then, you're right there watching it. So you just kind of type it out as you're thinking about it and watching it in real time, okay? The next one says there are 4 steps or stops on the UHA learning journey. What are they? And so there will be 2 or 3 questions under most of the videos, not all of the videos. And that's how the self-paced on-demand portion of the content is. Now, again, because we're mandated by the state of Texas to teach you according to the core competencies, we're always going to give you supplemental information that is not necessarily mandated, like we're not going to test you on it, but the state says we have to give it to you. So if you see here under each module, it says a different like CHW related topic. This is intro to the CHW profession. This is professional skills and conduct. This is introduction to public health. Like you're going to get all of that. And again, we've broken it down bite size, right? The history, employment trends, program models. I mean, these are 4, 5, 10-minute, this is 3-minute videos, right? There's no quizzes here. This is just supplemental information for you to know as an instructor. You're always going to have a homework assignment every week. And so for this particular, this is week 1 homework assignment. It says you're going to write a 1-page report on popular education. Your report should answer the following questions. What is popular education? What are popular education techniques? Why is popular education often associated with CHW training? What are the pros and cons of using popular education? And then you will either type it or submit it. If you have any questions you want to ask, you can always send questions to ask myself or ask Tiffany. And then every week, you're also going to complete this field instructor, field experience tracker. We actually need to update this to say 2024 next year, where you just go in and it's honor system. You're just going to say the date that you worked, what activity you did. Did you facilitate lessons to a small or large group of participants? Did you volunteer your time in a hospital or educational setting, library, or whatever? Did you accumulate time through employment or an internship? Or was there some other activity that was approved by your instructor? Okay. There's also a link here for you to schedule your one-to-one instructor check-in. So we do like for you to check in with your instructor about every 3 weeks. What we're going to do in 2024, we noticed that students don't always need this. Students that are behind or having issues and need clarification, they need that, but not all students need that. So it actually will be a link to like a survey check-in. How are you doing? Are any concepts difficult this module? Do you need any assistance? Would you like to meet with your instructor? And if so, at that time, then you will schedule a time to meet with your instructor. Okay. So that's how that works. There's other surveys. We want to ask you about, week 2, how the course is progressing. Is it what you expect? Is it, is it too much homework for you? All of that stuff we really do. And you'll hear from the video I'm going to play in just a little bit. Everything our students tell us, we adjust. Not everything, I will say majority, right? If majority says, oh, it's too much, then guess what? We're going to have to take some stuff off the table, right? We're really, really big on listening to the input of our students and the feedback of our students. So let me talk about presentations really quick, and then that's all I'm going to show for kind of behind the scenes. So you do have to do 3 presentations. They are mandatory. You have to do them in front of your peers. The first presentation is week 4. It is a baseline presentation. We will tell you the competencies that you can teach on. We will tell you what it all consists of. We will tell you how long it's going to be. You can see here, you can choose from 4 competencies, 10 minutes long. It has to have an icebreaker. It has to have your references. And guess what? This is a baseline. At this point, we've not even showed you how to do a presentation because we are assessing you with this baseline. We want to know what you know, how much you know, and how far you need to go between the first presentation and the last presentation. And I'm battling bronchitis, so my voice is going to go out here in just a little bit. So that's the first presentation. This year, presentations are on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12. So this week 4, week 8, and week 12, those are Saturdays from 9 to 12. And all of the dates are plugged into the syllabus, which is in the first module. The second presentation, and every presentation builds off of it. Now, you can't use the same presentation. I don't mean it builds off your first presentation, but it builds on like the number of competencies that you can choose from, how long the time is. So you're going to go from 10 minutes to 15 minutes to 20 minutes for your final, the things that you have to incorporate. So you see here, now you're incorporating storytelling or a case study. And then when you get down to the third presentation, let's open it up here. You have all of the competencies, but now for this last one, because we're getting you ready for the state, we want you to have your package ready to submit your stuff for the state. So you have to have the lesson plan outline and everything we're teaching you, right? Everything is in these modules. The icebreaker, the references, a poll question, use of one additional Zoom platform feature, case study or storytelling edition, a pre and post test, and your training evaluation. Because when we're done, I want you to be able to add, go from this 20-minute presentation, add a little bit more content, make it a 45-minute presentation, 45 minutes plus 15 for Q&A. And I want you to be able to submit that to the state so that you can become a training site in your own right if you want to. Okay, so you can become a training site providing continuing education, just CEs only, with just the submission of a 1-hour curriculum. Now, if you want to be a full training site providing certification like we do, you have to actually submit a full 160-hour curriculum. But if you just want to teach CEs, all you have to do is do this whole package right here with a 1-hour curriculum. So we're building you up to be able to do that by the time that you finish this program. All right, so let's see, I got a question here. Maria, go ahead with your question.
So what's the success rate for the people that do sign up for this course? What percentage complete the course?
That's a great question. So we always have about 2 people that will drop, usually about halfway through. So if we have 15 in a cohort, one usually drops fairly early, 2 will probably drop about midway, and we usually end up having about 12 graduates or 11. And actually, we just posted on this, Tiffany. I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you know how many graduated in the fall? I'm sorry, not in the fall. It is the fall. A couple weeks ago for our CHW instructors.
8.
There were 8. And then, do you know how many we started with?
11.
11. So there were, yeah, I mean, it's almost always about 3 people, always. And usually it's a personal thing. Sometimes it's more than I thought it was going to be. Sometimes it's I'm in college taking another course. I didn't think this course was going to be hard. Let me just say this is not a hard course. You're going to hear from the students. I'm actually going to play this video. It's not a hard course, but it's not a course that we're just going to give you a certification. I do everything to a standard of excellence. I am a small business owner. I am a Black woman. It is my reputation. And so I need people to know, if you say, oh, I went to Umemba Health Academy and I got my certification, that needs to come with some level of notoriety to it. And so it is not going to be a course where you just log on, watch the videos, and that's it. Like, Tiffany will look at your homework, and if it doesn't meet the mark, she will send a resubmit. I need you to resubmit. It didn't meet this. It didn't meet that. Could you please resubmit it? But I promise you, every student that graduates is like, I needed that. That's exactly what I need. I got it now. As a matter of fact, send those other questions in. Let me just share some feedback, because I think it's always good to hear from other learners. So let me just share some of the feedback from our students last, I keep saying last semester, but it was like 2 weeks ago. Okay. Make sure you can hear this too.
No sound.
No, before y'all answer that question, rate yourself and how you feel from the first presentation to this presentation. And then we'll open up the floor for feedback. So I'll just call on people. So I'm gonna start with Miss Patricia. Patricia, tell me how you feel from the first presentation to this last presentation.
Well, for me, this has been a huge learning experience for me, because I have not been, if you will, into the arena of online training or school. So for me, it's like learning how to operate the computer, learning how to do this. So it was huge for me. So I would have to say this is great. I just, the things that I wished I had you or Tiffany standing on the side of me and say, oh, no, go back, do this and check this. So but for me, I enjoyed it because I was able to learn some other stuff. and use some techniques that I have never used before. Even in some of the courses I have been taking with for CHW, this has been different.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that information.
You're welcome.
Cheyenne.
Yeah, so using Zoom is not new for me, and like teaching on Zoom isn't new for me, but I did like before I went ahead in second nature to include an icebreaker or to use more of the Zoom features. I really enjoyed the class where we explored Zoom a lot, and I learned a lot of useful and fun tools in Zoom. So that was nice.
Great, thank you. Let's see, Patrice is on. Hi, Patrice. What about you? Rate yourself from like the first presentation until now.
So it makes a lot of sense now. Like everything is like, I have all this collected information. All that you guys have put out has been wonderful information. I think in the beginning I was like, okay, what are they asking me to do? And I think I was given too much information. And then just like y'all said, it's gonna make sense. Just stay with us. It's gonna make sense. And that's exactly what happened. So I like that. I love the Zoom, the different tools I learned on Zoom. That was great. It was really awesome. And then I love the fact that we were able to express some concerns, and then you guys jumped right on it, was open to hear our concerns and modified. So I love everything from start to finish. So it was great.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. That's really, really good feedback. Lisette, rate your first presentation from today.
Yeah. I think I did better in the beginning. I think when we started adding more time, I'm like, okay, I gotta see, like, so it's but I definitely was like, I think I will co-sign with Cheyenne that with Zoom, I've done Zoom for so long, but I've never really used the features. You come in, you say your piece and walk out. That's how I was with Zoom. And so learning the features, doing the polls and the annotative stuff was definitely, in the whiteboard was really, really good. Still not comfortable, but we're gonna use it. But I definitely do see the progress in the comfortability of just using the tools, and like the paddle thing. I like that. Padlet, thank you. Being able to see everybody's feedback like that. And then I think, was it Lorena? I think she did, either Lorena or Martha, one of them, their presentation last week when they typed in and they just like did like a bunch of bubbles for the different words that fill in the sheet. I don't know which one it was, but I like that too. So I definitely learned a lot during this course for sure.
Excellent, thank you. It's always good to see everybody's presentations because you get to learn from the way that they do it. That's great. All right, so we'll do Martha and then Lorena. Martha, rate yourself from the first presentation into your last presentation.
Well, Clarissa, I have to say that this teaching experience has met the expectations. I had been trying to get on board about 2 years ago when I was with another organization, and I remember hitting you up and you were willing to work with me on payment arrangements. And I was like, everybody's like, well, there's this one that's cheaper, but there was just something. I said, when I would read the description about the Zoom platform, and you were more focused now on, you were not just thinking like, oh, this is what's happening right now. Like it was set up even on your description about now, and it was, and it's the future, I had to be part of this, your teaching, like, well, this organization, obviously Tiffany has a lot to do with it too, but I'm saying it had to be through you because of how you had everything set up. I know that I thought I knew some stuff, but I definitely have learned a lot, and I feel a little bit more confident. And I know that there's still a lot of space to grow, but I am definitely feeling very confident in even from my first presentation to now. And I love the fact about the tools, and yeah, and the grace, definitely the grace. And I'm very thankful for that. But this CHWI has met the expectations, and yeah, no, definitely. So thank you.
Sound looks like we lost sound. There was only one more anyway, but that was Lorena. I like what she had to say too as well. So that's just a little bit of feedback from our students that just finished a couple of weeks ago. I will say we will show you a lot of tools. I don't know if you've been to any of my workshops. I don't do anything boring. I mean, this is probably going to be one of the most boring workshops you ever attend. We do have a standard and expectation of our students. We have a standard and expectation of ourselves as well. We do show a lot of grace. The only thing that we ask is communication. If you let us know that you need help, that you need support, then we will do everything we can to make sure that you will pass. And as a matter of fact, Martha, the last one that spoke there, actually didn't. She was in our spring cohort, and she had to drop, and she came back. Even though she knew she had to start all over, she dropped midway. She started all the way over from the beginning, and she finished. And we worked with her and did what we had to do to make sure that she finished her program. So with that being said, that is our presentation. Let me actually pull up again my slide here and my offer, and then I'm going to open up the floor for one more time for questions. So this is my original slide here. If you are interested in getting, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? There it is. And getting $100 off your tuition, then I would love for you to snap a picture, not of this slide, snap a picture of the next slide, post it on social media platform of your choice, tag at Umemba Health with the hashtag CHWI Open House. Email it to us at admin, ADMIN at Umemba Health. And we will honor $100 off of your tuition, whether that is a paid in full or if that is an installment, whatever you need it to be. So this is the picture that you can actually snap your selfie. So if you want to turn around and snap it like this, or snap your screen, whatever it is that you want to do, that's perfectly okay and fine with me. All righty, so let's see. Let me open up the floor for questions. We've got about 7 more minutes. So Nicole says, how many hours a week would you suggest a student needs to be successful in class time and homework? At least 5 hours. And again, people, some people read faster, some people, write faster, excuse me, but I would say at least 5 hours, no more than 10 hours. Now this is not a college level class. There might be a couple of assignments like that first week when we ask you to do that report on popular education. There might be a couple that feel kind of collegiate. But for the most part, it is, okay, here's how you do a lesson plan. Here's the video. Now do your lesson plan. Okay, here's how, how you evaluate your learners. Here's the video. Now evaluate. So everything we're showing you, you're turning around and you're doing it for homework. Okay, when we get to the part where we're talking about the virtual classroom, we're going to instruct you, go to Zoom, create a free account. After you have a free account, create a 5-minute video of recording yourself going over the following. Like, we're very step-by-step and very procedural on what we want you to do. And we're giving you the exposure to it just week by week at a time. And so 5 to 10 hours should be sufficient to get all of the work done. Letta says, if you work as a health educator and already a certified CHW, can you use your work hours toward this certification? Absolutely. You can use it toward the field experience hours, right? Not toward the certification. So you still would have to come to do the class, to do the course, but you certainly can use your job as a health educator for your field experience. And if that's the case, you'll get your 40 hours in the first week. Nicole said the class hours are what times on Thursdays? So we don't do Thursdays anymore. The first Thursday, week 0, we will meet that Thursday night. Everybody will meet each other. And that's it. So everything is self-paced on demand except for presentation nights. So week 4 is Saturday morning, 9 to 12 Central. Week 8 is Saturday morning, 9 to 12 Central. Week 12 is Saturday morning, 9 to 12, or actually it might be 9 to 1 because we're doing 20 minutes at that time, 9 to 1. So you're actually not meeting during the week at all, except for that very first session on February the 1st. And that will probably not even be a 2-hour session like we used to do. It'll probably be just a meet and greet, introduction to what you should expect, going over the course player again, making sure you know where to find everything, making sure you know how to schedule office hours, all of those things like that. So that'll just be the first night. So it's not as hands-on as we've been historically, but the students actually ended up liking it a lot more, not meeting every Thursday night to go over the content. Can you give the instructions again? Yes, absolutely. So you're going to just snap your screen right now, or you're going to turn around and take a selfie. And then you're going to go to a social media platform of your choice. This can be Instagram, this can be Twitter, this can be YouTube, this can be LinkedIn. And you're going to say something. I just attended the CHW open house, CHW instructor, open house session at Umemba Health. You're going to tag us. And then you're going to screenshot it and email that picture to us. The email Tiffany put in the chat there, admin@Umemba Health. And then you're going to put in your application. And once you put in your application, screenshot that, we'll make sure that we process that and honor that $100 discount. Anything else? Any other questions? This has been really good engagement, y'all. I love the questions. We love questions. Even if you think of questions that you just pop in your head after the session is over, please don't hesitate to shoot us an email. We do still have some time, but again, if we get the payment deposits, or if we get payments in full, we will go from 15 to 14 to 13. You know, we'll let it be known. If we do sell out all 15 of these slots before the course starts in February, and we've got quite a few applications still, then we'll look at opening up another cohort. We've never had to done that before. Not trying to rush you, but I would say don't delay if you want to get into the February cohort. All righty, 2 more minutes. Any last questions, comments, or anything? You have the floor. Go ahead, Nicole. Yeah. Come on, you can come off mute. Come off of and ask your question. Ooh, what did I do there? Oh, we can't hear you. Arjet says, oh, that's a great question. Great question. No, there's no refund. Actually, I keep hitting this button here. So refund, and that's why I want you to read the student handbook. We have a 72-hour policy. So if you sign up and you pay your money, and you know within 72 hours you decide to change your mind, then absolutely not. What we do is we do allow you to drop if you want, just like going to college, right? If you get 3 or 4 weeks in and you feel like you can't do it, then you can drop. You can pick back up the next semester. Of course, you'll have to start all over from the beginning. I can't remember exactly what the handbook says, but there may be a drop fee or something like that. But no, absolutely, we can't let you get 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road and then you want a refund, because I mean, one, you took somebody's spot. That's one, right? We could have made money off of that. But then we still have expenses, and I still have staff fees and instructor fees and different things like that. So 72 hours is the whole time, unless you're military. If you're military, then there's exceptions for that, and it's all in the handbook. Can you give me the dates again for the Saturdays, and can you have a makeup date, or are they mandatory? Let me look at the syllabus, and I can give you those dates.
The date.
You got it open? Okay, great.
I want to say it's February 24th, March 23rd, and April the 20th. Yeah. And I can put that in the chat as well.
Yeah, those are the Saturdays. Thank you, Regina. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day. Hey, y'all, it's 1 o'clock. Any additional questions, please send those to admin@Umemba Health. As soon as Tiffany put those in the chat, there they are. We're going to go ahead and drop. I'll make this recording available. We'll make sure to send it out via email. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you all so much for spending your hour with us today. Take care, and we hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.